Hi everyone and welcome back to the Upside Dan. I'm so excited to be on the road to Godzilla vs. Kong with you guys. On our second stop on the road to Godzilla vs. Kong is the 2017 Monsterverse film Kong: Skull Island. Of course, I've already reviewed Godzilla 2014. You can check that out in the description below at the end of this video or a link throughout this video. Make sure you check that out. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know down in the comments, are you excited for Godzilla vs. Kong, which hits HBO Max and theaters the same day, March 31st. Let me know what you think of this review. What did you think of Kong Skull Island? What did you think of the first Godzilla? What did you think of Godzilla King of Monsters? We will be getting to that review next week. Let's get right into the 2017 Monsterverse movie, Kong Skull Island. After the Vietnam War, a team of scientists explore an uncharted island in the Pacific, venturing into the domain of the mighty Kong, and they must fight to escape a primal Eden. Kong Skull Island was directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts. It was written by Dan Gilroy, Max Borenstein, Derek Connolly, John Geddins. It is based on the character created by Marion C. Cooper and Edgar Wallace. This film stars Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, John C. Reilly, and John Goodman. Of course, we'll be getting into spoilers for, like I said, these Monsterverse movies. So just be forewarned, there are going to be spoilers for Kong Skull Island if you have not seen that. In my Godzilla King of Monsters review, there will be spoilers for that. And as I said, Godzilla vs. Kong, I think I'm going to do a non-spoiler review first, and then a spoiler-filled review after that. So I hope you're looking forward to these Monsterverse reviews. I had a blast with this Monsterverse movie. So I liked it in theaters. I liked Godzilla 2014 in theaters. When we get to my ranking at the end of Godzilla King of Monsters, we will get to which one I liked more out of these three. And then of course, as I said, once the Godzilla vs. Kong movie comes out, I will rank all four of the Monsterverse movies at the end of that video. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting my thoughts out on these films and the ranking for them and the ratings for them as well. I thought Kong Skull Island was actually a really good King Kong film. Especially on this rewatch, this is my second time watching it. I haven't seen it since theaters. I really enjoyed myself. I had a fun time with this monster movie. Yeah, I mean, the problem with these movies is the characters, the human characters. And I didn't think that they were too bad in Godzilla 2014 for the most part, and I don't think they're that bad here. We will get to what I think of the characters in Godzilla King of Monsters, of course, next week. I thought they focused on them just the right amount. Kong Skull Island, I thought it had a pretty good setup. And I really, like I said, I had a blast with this movie. I liked, the actors and actresses in this. That's a thing about the Monsterverse movies. They have good actors in them. They have good actors playing these characters, these human characters, but the human characters just aren't all it for most people, especially for a monster movie. You want to see the monsters fighting. You want to see the monsters up close and personal. You want to see them bashing heads in. You want to see all of this monster action. So we don't really care as much about the human characters in these films, but I liked them enough. They served their purpose. They didn't need to be there for the plot. But I'm hoping Godzilla vs. Kong focuses so much on these monsters going head to head and whatever else is going to come down the line as well. You have, like I said, good actors here. Brie Larson, I really actually liked in this role. I'm not a huge fan of her as Captain Marvel at all, really. I don't think she's a good fit for, the MCU as a whole, for the most part. But I did think she was a good fit here, and I've seen her in other movies. She's a good actress. Samuel Jackson, I loved seeing them work together, though. They worked here first together. And I know they worked a couple more times, and they worked on, of course, Captain Marvel. So it's really good to see them together. And then Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki in the MCU, he's also in this. So we have a few MCU vets in there. And it's really cool to see. I definitely, for the most part, for what we were given, I liked the characters in here. They're not the focal point, though. Kong and Skull Island are the focal point in this film for the most part. They're what you go there for, at least. Obviously, it's called Kong Skull Island. It's a monster movie. You want to see monsters. I thought that there were some great effects in this film and some great shots, some beautiful shots. Kong, in the sunlight, you know, with the sun in the background. Kong standing in between mountains. The amazing helicopter action scene when they first arrive and he's just smashing helicopters out of the ground. He's just throwing human beings. He's just throwing things at the helicopters. Just, you know, throwing them onto the ground, throwing them in the air, anywhere. It's just a great scene. And there are parts in this movie where I'm like, that almost should have got a rated R rating. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that should have almost got an R rating. You have limbs being ripped apart. It's far away in the shot, and it kind of reminded me of Jurassic World when, you know, the woman got picked up by the pterodactyls, because there's a scene similar to this in this movie. But there's some blood and violence in this movie. There's a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if I found out that it almost got an R rating. It makes great use of its PG-13 rating. I really believe that, and like I said, I just love some of the shots in this film. They're just beautiful. Seeing Kong up close, far away, with the sun in the background, in front of the helicopters, in the water, ripping apart other monsters, or ripping apart humans. Other monsters looked beautiful as well. I really liked the effects in this one, and some beautiful scenery, you know, a beautiful island. Really great stuff here. I thought the cinematography here was actually really good. You know what, I'm just gonna say it. I think this is a legit good film. I think that IMDb score, yes, it's the highest of the Monsterverse movies, the IMDb audience score. I think it should even be a little higher, to be honest. I thought this was a good movie. This was an enjoyable, fun movie. I thought, for the most part, it was well written, well shot, very well shot. I can't get over some of the shots of this movie. I was like, oh, they worked really hard on that. It was very cool to see. And the monster action was very good here as well. I thought the skull crawlers were very eerie, or the cranium reptin, I believe it's called.
But the devils live below us. I call them skull crawlers. Why? Because it sounds neat.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, that seems like
I like the name.
I thought those were very, very good looking, scary, a very good design for a monster. And the eerie scene in the fog when they're, at the skeletons, the remains of Kong's parents. It was very eerie, and it was a very cool, device when he swallowed John Goodman's character with the camera. The camera kept flashing inside him, so all they're seeing in the fog is flashes all around them, going fast around them. And they don't know when this thing is going to jump out, but all they see is the camera flashes. I thought that was a very well directed, written, and shot scene. It was eerie, it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite scenes. I mean, there's so many good scenes. I love the helicopter scene, the opening, like I said, the opening to when they get to Skull Island. I thought that was very cool. The opening, the actual opening, I thought was a little corny, to be honest, with, the two army men, John C. Reilly's younger character, and their, it kind of seemed corny, like an 80s or 90s, action movie. But it was good. It looked good, and it was a good opening, a good way to get someone intrigued, I think, in this film. And then you have some great action set pieces throughout, great looking Kong, just great looking effects here. Sometimes you're like, oh, this actor's not going to die, they're the main character. And then, like John Goodman, he does die. Samuel L. Jackson does die more towards the end. But still, in some ways, you kind of feel like John Goodman's character could have had more than... I mean, he is the reason they're there, so at least he got them there, and he didn't tell them what was happening. He knew that monsters existed. But yeah, some of the characters are one note, do not get me wrong. Like the side characters are, they're one note, just like any Monsterverse movie, but you don't need that much character development. Or if you are going to focus on the humans, make it good. Make them good characters, make them good actors, which we usually get in the Monsterverse movies, except not all the Monsterverse movies have good characters or compelling characters. I mean, a big thing we know about Kong is, the Empire State Building scene, and he kind of loves a girl. And you get variants of the girl part in here with Brie Larson's character. So I did enjoy those scenes. I thought it was a good ode to, a main thing that people know about this character. So I was a fan of this movie through and through, really. Yes, there are some flaws, of course, here and there. So I'm not saying I think it should have a 10 out of 10, obviously, on IMDb. And we'll get to my rating later in the videos. Also, some of the comedy really landed here. I'm not going to even lie. I liked the comedy better in here. I thought it was a little more witty. John C. Reilly was a pretty funny character. So yeah, through and through, I thought this was an enjoyable film. I definitely recommend it. Please check this out if you have not seen it. Let me know your thoughts on Kong Skull Island. Give me all your thoughts down in those comments. Please. Are you excited for Godzilla vs. Kong coming March 31st on HBO Max and in theaters the same day? And of course, if you haven't, like I said, check out my Godzilla 2014 review. It's going to be up there somewhere throughout this video, down in the description, and at the end of this video on an end card. So definitely check that out. If you've liked what you've seen here and you want to see more, you'll probably like some more of my content. So click around here to see more. Please like this video, comment down below. Are you excited for Godzilla vs. Kong? Share this video with the Godzilla and Kong fans in your life. Hit that notification bell. Subscribe and come to the upside down.